Welcome back. You're watching The Money Show on ET Now. And the one question, I suppose, that's on everyone's minds, especially the ones who have travel plans, is whether to go through with them, especially if they are via the east of the world, that's Asia. The deadly coronavirus, which has in fact claimed 550 victims. Should you perhaps reroute your flight, choose a flight that will take another route? That's the questions we'll try and answer today with Sankalp Agarwal, co-founder and CEO of TravelTriangle.com. Sankalp, thank you so much for joining in. Of course, I'm not speaking to you on the best of occasions. Currently, of course, it's the coronavirus that has got everybody in a fear trap, and it's got individuals questioning all their travel plans. In fact, I suppose I will step into your shoes and just advise all the viewers as well that if you have travel plans for this month, please forget about it. There's nothing more important than your health and then your life. Just simply cancel them and you can figure out the money bit later. You can always earn back money, but you cannot earn back your health. That's most important. But yeah, Sankalp, for all the individuals traveling to not just China, I mean, it's obvious, but even to the surrounding Asian countries, what are the options available before them? Let's say if they're traveling in March or April, what would you recommend they do? Let's say if they've got a flight booking fixed, a hotel or an Airbnb fixed, what would you recommend they do?
So, to the people who are traveling to nearby places apart from China, I would recommend that there are countries where the virus spread is almost not there. For example, Indonesia has zero infected persons till this point of time. So Bali is one of the destinations where people can go very happily out there, right? So that is one. Second is that, as I think in March, April, the situation will definitely calm down and it will be much easier. So I think March, April will not be that much of a problem. I think it is more of the February which people have to be more wary about. And I think usual destinations like Thailand, etc. Will spring up back by March, April. Thailand, Singapore, Malaysia, everything will spring up back by March, April. That's what we think.
Well, we are saying that basically if somebody is traveling before the 29th of Feb, then they should obviously consider cancelling their trips or their plans or whatever. But if you are traveling, let's say in March or April, then you should stay put with your travel plans to the south, to these Asian countries.
Yeah, so I think at this point of time, I think in a month, things will get in control. Post month we can decide after like seeing 10-15 days more of how all the governments of various countries find a solution, but I think solution would be very close for all of us to find.
Well, let's cross our fingers and hope that a solution is found very soon. So Sankalp, now let's talk about the ones who have a plan, to travel to China or even to the surrounding countries in the more recent days, like you mentioned, before the 29th of Feb. At this juncture, is there any cooperation from the different flights? Because I know, for one example, Air China is willing to give you a complete refund. But what about the other airlines? What's the status? Let's start off first with the flight refund. If I'm traveling to Vietnam, Thailand, Cambodia, any of these affected regions, China goes without saying, of course, what are my options to get a refund?
Sure. So on the refunds bit, first I will start with the China because it's the most infected area, right? So in China, there are two cases which are out there. First is that the airlines themselves, like Air India, Indigo, have cancelled up their flights to China, and then they are by themselves processing up the refund for these customers. So the customers should get in touch with these airlines to make sure that they are able to get the refund. Apart from this, also the airlines have issued a public notice that they will waive off the cancellation charge and the change fee, which means that you can change to some other flight, and people can do that freely from the time period from 24th Jan to 24th Feb. And to enable the travelers, they have actually started a new call center line as well, a lot of them, where travelers can reach out to them directly to know the status of the same. This, along with their booking partner, can help them out to solve the issues of the China. So that's around the China. But if you talk about places which are nearby like Thailand, etc. Right now, airlines have not issued any kind of concessions on cancellation fee uh, or on the change fee at this point of time. So people will have to bear these losses for themselves if they want to cancel up the flights, etc. out there. Having said that, there are a lot of places which also have a lot of merits around, because the occupancy rate of the hotels, etc. is going down, so the prices are also coming down for a lot of the destinations in Southeast Asia. So it's a mix and match on how people can see and plan up their holiday accordingly.
Well, basically, if I have a flight to China, I can be before the 29th of Feb, of course, I can be rest assured that that can be cancelled. I'll get my full refund. But if it's the surrounding countries, then I'm not going to get my refund, right, Sankalp?
Yeah.
Okay. What about hotels? I mean, and Airbnbs in China? Is there any sort of concession over there? And of course, if you could then talk about the ones around, Thailand, etc. as well.
Yes, sure. So in China itself, the hotels themselves are giving refunds and concessions to the customers through the platforms out there. So that is true. For other destinations, no such concessions are available.
All right. And Sankalp, let's assume now, while you mentioned that for all the travel trips in March and April, hopefully things should get settled down. But still, I want to be more on the cautious side. And if I'm, let's say, traveling in March and April, I still don't want to take the chance for whatever reason. If I still cancel my trip, which may be in March or April, to China or the surrounding countries, is there any possibility of me getting my full refund, or do you recommend that perhaps such travelers should wait for a little longer, see what the update on corona is, and maybe then there may be full cancellation and refund possibilities?
So for refund and cancellation policies, right? So the airlines have only issued notice till Feb end, right? For March, there are no set out policies or no zero cancellation fees out there at this point of time. So travelers will have to check for specific airlines and specific flights so that they can figure out what is the best possibility for them. Yes, but if you are on the cautious note, you can consider cancelling them at this point of time and bear the losses.
So what would roughly be those losses, Sankalp? What sort of losses will individuals have to bear the brunt of?
That depends. So that depends upon the time and the kind of the flight you have booked, right? So there are a lot of refundable flights where the amount is very small. There are non-refundable flights where the amount would be the complete fee. So if you take a Delhi-Shanghai flight, typically a return flight would cost you around 35,000 to 37,000. If you have booked it for a non-refundable fare, then it is the total fee which will cost you per person.
Okay, great. Sankalp, this was extremely comprehensive. Thank you so much for joining us on this extremely important interview to inform all our viewers about what they could do with their travel plans. My personal advice, folks, if you all are traveling, if you all did have travel plans for China, especially China in the month of Feb, please forget about them. Even if you are losing money, there's nothing more important than health. And we do know that health is wealth. You can always earn the money back. You can't earn your health back. So please, without any hesitation, do cancel your trip to China if it's in Feb. Okay, well, on that note, we'll wrap it up on this edition of The Money Show. Send in your feedback on The Money Show at etnow.tv. Thank you for watching.